Hey, Meg. How are you? Good to see ya. Good to see you,
Veronica.
Happy New Year.
I already printed out the program.
All right. Don't worry about it. I'll announce as you know.
I'm gonna hand these programs out now. Oh. The last performer has COVID.
No, she's just in quarantine.
What?
Yeah, so what they do here is with the students, if a student tests positive in another student's class, usually like the 4 or 5 people that sit around them in their class are sent home and they're quarantined for a week. So Laura was in a class with another student, and they sent 5 or 6 kids home yesterday, unfortunately. So how's everybody doing? It's so good to see you guys.
Well, this is our new system.
Yeah?
But the mounted cameras aren't working yet, so I have to use the old one on a tripod, so you're seeing the back of them.
I know, I was gonna say, so you get the best of both worlds. I'm in the front and in the back.
Yeah.
Is that true? Meg, I'm so proud of you. You're becoming an IT person. Good for you.
They've been practicing with me. Which ones are? So the last performer is not good. Oh, Laura.
Can you guys hear okay?
Yeah. Your last performer. My goodness, yes, you sounds like she is quite a musician.
Good. How's the weather there?
Oh, we got buckets of rain today.
Oh, really? Aw. Well, I won't tell you, it's sunny and 72.
So I guess we're ready to start.
Okay, I'm going to get our first wonderful performer, and you can introduce us, and then we'll do a little bit of introduction ourselves. All right, so the way they have it, Nana, is they can see us. They can just, where we are, there's another monitor. But Meg, can you show Mana what everybody's looking at? I don't know if you can turn it. I'm just curious so that she can see it. This is their new system. Do you see the? Wait, where is it?
Yeah, does you see that?
Oh, I see it now. It's pretty bright. So it's above the doors, Meg?
Yeah, it's above the door.
Ah, instead of where it was in front of the room. Why did they do that?
Because we have 2 monitors now.
Oh.
2 screens.
It's like being at the baseball game.
So I don't know, this is how it is.
Oh, that's okay. Hey, is the sound good, Meg? Can you hear us okay?
It's very clear, yes.
Excellent. Very glad to hear that. Well, if you're ready to roll, we are. You can introduce us, and then we'll do our thing.
This is Veronica Mascaro. Have you met her before? Yes. I think most of you have. She's performed here and Red Team. And for Valentine's, she's going to bring in another flute choir. Anyway, this is a few of her private students have been working hard, and they're going to get the recital. And then towards the end, Veronica's going to play. And as you can see on the program, they're going to play some familiar key things. All right?
We're ready. Happy New Year, everyone. It's good to see everybody. Well, I can see you from the back, but it's good to see everyone. Hope you're all having a great January and kind of looking forward to the fall. And like Meg said, we'll be back in February the 12th to play some love songs for everybody. This is a flute choir that you haven't seen. You saw my big flute choir, Flutissimo. We did a concert in, when did we do that one, Meg? That was Christmas that we did the Christmas concert. And this is my smaller flute choir. And that's a flute choir, another adult flute choir that's housed in McKinney, Texas. and they're really, really looking forward to playing for you guys. We just had rehearsal and some photo shoots on Tuesday, and we just bought an alto flute. So that ensemble is very, very excited to share some time and talents with you guys. But today, I have two wonderful students with me, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves to you. And the first piece that we're going to play, and you'll have the programs, is one movement from Telemann's Sonata in B-flat major for two flutes. It was originally written actually for violins, and but it translates very, very well for flute. So I'm going to have Mana introduce herself, and then we'll start.
My name is Mana, and I'm in 5th grade. I go to Sparks Elementary School in Frisco.
Yeah, we can. Thank you. If we just can't. I just wanted to make sure. So the next set of pieces are from Mozart's Magic Flute. And Mozart just had a birthday on Wednesday, I believe, the 27th. And Man is going to talk a little bit about Mozart.
Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was a composer in the classical period. He was born on January 27, 1756 in Salzburg, Austria. He performed pieces for European royals. He later moved to Vienna and composed many of his best-known pieces. Today, he would be 265 years old.
Thank you. That's very, very old. All right, so 2 movements from the Magic Flute. And I think you might recognize maybe the second one. Maybe the second one. Okay.
super challenging pieces. I've never heard a fifth grader play those pieces.
Ooh. Well, as you can tell by Mana's bio, she is quite a young musician, and she does lots of national competitions on piano, and a beautiful pianist. Really, it's really amazing to watch Mana play. She's so expressive, and just as expressive flutistically as well. So she's going to head on out, and I'm going to play a couple of things. Thank you again, Mana, for sharing time and talents. And
May I ask her one more question?
of course, Mana, come on back. They want to ask a question.
Congratulations on being invited to the piano seminar. How was that?
She's asking about the dance library.
Oh, it was like very educational, and like I got to have like an experience to play on like a big stage.
Great, congratulations.
Mana was supposed to play. When was the first time she was supposed to play in Carnegie Hall? The Carnegie Hall
Oh, last summer.
And then they ended up canceling it and rescheduling for December, thinking that it might happen, and then they canceled it again. So she's going to take that audition again this year, I believe, yes, for the Carnegie Hall thing. So hopefully, fingers crossed that it all works out. So, but she's a beautiful player, really amazing, stunning. I guess they're done with the interview.
Thank you, Mama.
Let me see.
We have four Wichita children's choir director this year. She's a flutist, and she said your intonations were great.
Oh, our intonations were great. So yes. Well, we worked very hard at that. So we did lots of compare and contrasting, right? And a pretty intensive tuning session earlier. So thank you so much for that comment. That really makes us feel good. Something that we can take with us. So good. Thank you so much, Mana. All right. So as Mana makes her way out, I have, like Meg was mentioning, my student who was supposed to play for us today, I picked an elementary student, a middle school student, and a high school student. And my high school student, last night, she texted me and she said, I don't know if I can play the recital tomorrow. And I said, Laura, I said, why not? And she said, well, she said, somebody in my class tested positive for COVID and I have to be quarantined. So what they've been doing here, and what I was telling Meg, is they go into the classrooms, and unfortunately, any student that's sitting around other students who have been tested positively are asked to leave, and they have to quarantine for a week. And then they have to be tested before the schools let them back into the building. And it's been kind of an ongoing thing. I don't know of any student who actually has gotten symptoms, but lots and lots of students have been quarantined here, and it's unfortunately quite a disruption, because then they have to be online for classes, and then when they go back, then they're back in the classroom, and so it's been really challenging, as you can well imagine. So Laura said to me, well, it's up to you. I can still play if you want me to, and because I have other students that are coming to my house to present their pieces, I told her that we would do it a little bit later. And so she was very upset that she couldn't play, because she was really excited. She had picked out all the pieces all by herself, the pieces that she was going to play, and we were pretty excited to, play some pieces from some Broadway musicals. And so anyway, I told her that I would kind of send her best to you, and one of these days we'll have her back. So what I decided to do was play a couple of pieces while my next student is coming in, getting ready to play her part. And I picked two. One is called Winter Spirits by a wonderful flutist. She has since passed, Catherine Hoover, and I'm sure that Meg knows all about Catherine Hoover. She's not only she was a great flutist, but also a really, really great composer. And kind of her specialty in a way was she was very influenced by Native American Indian music. So probably my very, very favorite piece by Catherine Hoover is a piece called Canyon Echoes. It's actually for flute and classical guitar. And when I lived on the East Coast, myself and my classical guitar partner, it was one of our favorites to present to people. And it has such a great story behind it as well. But this one, it's called Winter Spirits, and has some extended techniques in it, but a very, very lovely piece for flute solo. So this is Winter Spirits by Catherine Hoover. Yes, ma'am.
maybe you can tell us a little bit about some of the techniques.
Oh, some of the techniques?
Buttertonguing the critter.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's not a lot of extended techniques to this piece. Essentially, this work is kind of a work that I use with my students, my younger students, kind of to get them into what we call extended techniques on the instrument. And so there's not really that many. There are tremolos or tremolandos. They kind of sound like trills, but they're a little bit more extended. A trill is generally between a half step and a whole step. That's an official trill. Tremolos are anything above a whole step. So they have kind of a different color. And then we have other kind of tone trills, which are kind of unusual. And that's when I was playing an A natural and using fingers on my other hand on the bottom stack. So they just actually kind of go down by quarter steps, sometimes half steps, sometimes eighth steps, in order to create just kind of a different sort of sound. In this particular piece, sometimes I use some different techniques that Catherine actually didn't write. Sometimes a little bit of flutter tonguing at the end of something, or after double tonguing. Double tonguing is a technique that we use that uses 2 strokes of the tongue instead of 1 stroke of the tongue. So we say basically tuka is how we articulate. And then I use a flutter tonguing technique at the very end along with the tremolo. Catherine did actually write that in this piece, but after exploration, I think that she would be okay with that. But I use flutter tonguing, which is just rolling the tongue, kind of like gargling in a way. Some people can flutter tongue using rolling the tongue, and other people use the back of the throat. I like the back of the throat a little bit better because it makes a broader, more resonant sound in the flutter. And then with a tremolo, it's kind of, you get lots and lots of different other colors. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I used in here, Meg, but I don't think so. Some grace notes, of course, and you know what those are. Lots of grace notes, of course, in this music. This music was not designed to be played on a Native American instrument. That's not really what Catherine's, what her philosophy was. I mean, she wrote it in order to be played on a modern instrument. So I have one more piece to share with you before Audrey makes her way onto our stage. And this is kind of a piece that is a novelty piece that was written fairly early in our quarantine. And I'm sure that some people in the room, maybe if you're a flute player, definitely Meg, might recognize the name Ricky Lombardo. Ricky is a composer who lives on the East Coast and very, very active, has written lots and lots of transcriptions of Christmas music and all kinds of music, not just flute music, although we really enjoy that music, but he's also written some orchestra transcriptions and some band transcriptions. But at the very beginning of the quarantine, he wrote a piece, didn't publish it, and sent it out to some good friends of his. And I was fortunate enough to get a copy of it. It's called Quarantunes. And it's 3 movements for flute solo. I'm not going to play all 3 for you today. I'll just play the first and the last one. But it was kind of his inspiration, having to be at home in his studio and put this piece out. The first movement is called Home, and he has a bit of an explanation underneath that. Home is the place to be while quarantined and hunkered down during the COVID-19 pandemic to stay safe. The second movement, which I'm not going to play for you today, is called Hibernation Blues, and it's really kind of a cool swing style movement. And then the third movement is called Steppin' Out. And what it's supposed to be is kind of after being quarantined for a while, kind of stepping out back into the world and kind of rejoining, the human race. So I thought I'd play Home for you. It's very, very beautiful and kind of heartfelt and thoughtful. And then stepping out, kind of in hopes that that we all get to see each other in person very, very soon. You can come in, Audrey. Thank you for bearing with me. Don't tell anybody you heard me play jazz. Come on in. All right, so thank you so much for that warm applause. I can see the nice gentleman that's close to me applauding. I appreciate all of that. So my next wonderful, wonderful student and friend is here. And once she gets settled in, and don't they look nice? It's so nice to see the kids dressing up for these wonderful concerts. The students here are getting ready for their solo and ensemble competitions. Solo and ensemble competitions. And so this is really for them to become acclimated. All of our auditions this year have been online. So the students have been responsible for making sure that their devices are working, and we test things out at lessons, of course. And I ask them relentlessly to send me recordings, which Audrey is like the best at. And so these kids are doing the best that they can, and they have been amazingly brave and courageous through this whole thing. They really have. And so this is a really great way for me to reward them for all of their hard work and persistence. So I'm going to have Audrey announce herself and introduce herself to you.
Hi, I'm Audrey Timisic.
What grade are you in? And what's
I'm in 7th grade. I go to McCamey Middle School.
McCamey Middle School is probably the closest middle school to my house, and one of the schools that I teach at, and fabulous students. Audrey is one of my very favorite students. Don't tell my other students this, but she's one of my very favorite students, mostly because we like to share recipes. So she has a love for baking, and she still owes me a recipe for her cookies that she gave me over the Christmas holiday, but we won't talk about that today. So what we're going to present to you today is a wonderful work by Beethoven. And you all know who Beethoven is, wonderful romantic composer. And this particular work, it's an allegro and a minuet for 2 flutes, was unfortunately originally written for 2 violins. But it, again, translates very, very well for the instruments. And we're going to tune, and then we'll be set to go. It'll come up. so I'm going to do some different things in here. You just do your own thing, and I'm doing something different. Make sense? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us today. We have one more piece for you today, and I think you're all going to recognize it. It's kind of our little encore. It was actually on the program. Laura and I were going to play this, but Audrey actually did this whole trio all by herself in the summer, over the summer. So she knows this one very, very well. And I think it's an appropriate ending to our wonderful program. So thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I don't think I need to announce this one. I think that you will recognize it. So I come in right from the very beginning. You just do your own thing. I knew you were going to be able to pull that off. Thank you again, everybody. Thank you, Meg, as always.
Yes, we want to congratulate Audrey for making district and regional band last year.
That's a big deal in our area, a really big deal. And especially this year because the kids had to record all of their auditions. So again, they had to learn how to use their devices so everything sounded great. And we as judges had to listen to them online. We couldn't be in the room with them, obviously. And so that was a really big deal, especially for a 7th grader. It's pretty competitive, and we have as you know, a lot of musicians in this area. So that's very impressive for a student to make it to both events.
And the plain and tune, but very well done.
Thank you. I was thinking about it the whole time. So thank you so much. She was our ear today. I love that. Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. And Meg, I'll be in touch before the 12th of February.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have enough saved up to do the first movement of Beethoven again?
Sure.
Okay, let's do the first movement of the Beethoven again. Do you think that your parents are still logged in?
I have no idea.
We're going to do the first movement of the Beethoven again. Because we can. We just got off to a rough start. You were just a little bit nervous. Were you a little bit nervous?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. I just wanted to run quickly because you've worked too hard at this stuff. Okay. So it might start to blow. So let's get some. I brought 2 of those. Let me see where the other one is. I'll try to look quick.
There's one right there.
Where is it?
It's.
Grab it. Go ahead. I'm just gonna get a swig of water. But there's 7 people tuned in, so I'm assuming it's your whole family.
Yeah.
Let me do better here. I'm a pro at clips. It's from all my years in the East Coast playing weddings outside. You get used to it. All right, so this is going to be a second showing of the second performance of the first movement of the Beethoven. The minuet was right. Okay, this one was okay. We can't start with that one.
Okay. Sorry.
1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So I'm gonna shut this down. All right. And then it'll just say, oops, your stream will stop immediately and you